Today's episode is called I Was High on Weed Juice for Hoops this morning, and it affected my game really not at all, except I was very chatty. More to come on this. It's the EBBA recap. Welcome. Today's episode is called I Was High on Weed Juice for Hoops this morning, and it affected my game not at all. Did make me chatty, but it's called Squeeze. It's a THC beverage enhancer. My Ukrainian friend gave it to me as a gift on New Year's Eve, and it's a fast-acting nano formula. But back to the enhancer name, I would say it's certainly something that goes into a drink or a beverage, but to boldly claim that it's an enhancer right off the bat, it's a little bit pompous, although for me, I would say it did enhance the beverages that I've used it with so far. On New Year's Eve, I had it with a Jameson and ginger ale, and during a Settlers of Catan game, I felt like I was myself walking along the board and using the ports and trading goods. It was fantastic. Blame it on the wheat juice, on my wheat juice, on my wheat juice. Anyway, there was basketball today. It was good to be back. Quite winded. Everybody recovering from the Omicron version of COVID-19, which is a virus that originated in 2019. We wore masks and we played basketball. And there was victory and anguish and arguments and celebration. I got a ride to basketball today from none other than the mayor of Roscoe Village, Bill O'Donnell. It was wonderful. We were in a 1990 Volvo station wagon that was sky blue. I could barely see it on the street, blended right in with everything. We drove to Hoops, had a nice little conversation about our COVID holiday, and there were about 8 or 9 people there when I showed up. It was unfortunate to see because I typically like to be number 11 or 12 and relax while the first 10 play a game. But unfortunately, I heard Brandon yell, "Why don't Bill and Alex draft?" And then I got Al walking over to me, and I don't like drafting, so I tried to split up the teams. Rick was already wearing a white shirt. I think I was going to wear a white shirt. Al was going to be dark. So there was Rick. And then we split Rick maybe with John Green. And then from there, let's see. It was potentially it was a Pat and Kevin split. But I'll save that till later. It was a OD and Brandon split. I took Brandon and Al took OD. And then at the end, it was maybe a Josh and Jason split. But I'm too nice of a guy in these drafting/splitting situations. I don't want to do it anymore. I refuse to do it going forward. This is a proclamation message during this recap. So the last couple people in the split were Kevin and Pat and Jason and Josh, who was showing up late. I think Jason and Josh were sitting on the sidelines first. We played some 4-on-4, and I want to say I had Pat. He had a light-colored shirt on or something, and Kevin went dark. Worked out very well for the dark team that Kevin went dark because he was a real force today, let me tell you. Wow, really went crazy on the offensive end. On the defensive end, they all had many, many steals. We had many, many turnovers. Anyway, back to the games themselves. It was a bloodbath. The team that I had put together was not on the winning side of it. So it's good I don't have to focus on that team as much because the team of John Green, Kevin, Bill O.D., Joshua Williams, and Al, the captain. He put that team together mostly by letting me split the teams, and it worked out very well in his favor. So, like I said before, not doing that again. Al made a 3 before the first game to take the ball. It was deep, and it was certainly a sign of things to come, because it hit that back of the rim and just shot straight down like a lump in my heart. Because what a team I had today. But I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on the winners. My team also had a win, so at one point I might get to that. The first play of the game, John Green cuts out, gets the ball, and immediately drills a jumper the same way Al hit that three. And I think maybe 2.5 seconds into the game, it was 2-0. So it was all downhill from there. The first game lasted 5 to 5.5 minutes because after that John Green shot, the rest of the team shot about 80% the rest of the way, meaning they maybe made 5 of 6 of the next baskets or 6 of 7 of the next baskets. However, they needed to get to 15. They got there very quickly, and the other team was not able to keep up. The final score was something like 15-6, maybe 7. It was a tough start, but everybody on that team was drilling, and you had 46, 48. He could be 58-year-old Bill O'Donnell going strong to the hole like he was 28. It was fantastic, making all sorts of moves out there because he's still got all the game. You think maybe he's just going to be a defender or something, but no. When he has an opportunity to step up and shine, he can, throw down. He did take some murder weapon threes that might not have gone in, but everything within the three-point line, that shit was dropping. So it was a nice big day for him. I appreciate that ride. Great job today. Yeah, Jay Will also put up a tremendous day today. I think he had Rick guarding him for the first 2 or 3 games and had him in the spin cycle constantly with pull-ups, and Rick was getting picked by everybody, his own teammates, his opponents. I think Uni came in and set a screen on Rick today. It was tough out there, especially down in the paint. There were a lot of fouls, a lot of people colliding together. It made for the opportunity of that one extra pass was always going to get to an open man for the winning dark team today, because there would be help coming on defense, and then suddenly somebody else was open, and led to a lot of easy layups and buckets that were close to the hoop. Not to discredit Kevin, who was making all sorts of wild post moves down low and just turning and burning and putting everything up towards the hoop. It didn't even matter. I don't even think there were pump fakes. They were just going up all sorts of ways, and just about every one of them went in. It was really fun to see as well, although it wasn't happening on my team. Potentially he could have been on my team, but it was not to be on this day. And then, Al as well, he was working it down low, getting a lot of rebounds. And I was never going in past the three-point line on offense till maybe the 4th, 5th, or 6th game. So it pretty much let him dominate the paint on defense and get just about every rebound that needed to be gotten. So that was really great, too, to see for an opponent. I mean, great job. What can you do? But there's a little bit of drama on my team today, just because I was talking nonstop to everybody. I'm in coach mode, just trying to call out everything. And the bad thing is you can't see my mouth because I have a mask on. I wish I could see people's mouths, because using the mouth, I think, could communicate even more of what I'm trying to say or trying to dictate or point to versus just doing it through the mask. It's quite unfortunate, and it would also let me see everyone else's face. I look forward to the day when we won't be playing in masks anymore. That would be a very sweet day and a good time out on the basketball court. I look forward to it very much. And after that first game 1, 15 to whatever blowout, it was possibly a score of 15-4. The game after that, and one that took even less time than the first game. We're looking at, now we scored 4 points. I think it took 4 minutes for them to score 15 points. It was not good. They kept right up with the shooting 80%, which meant as a team they maybe missed 1 basket for the whole game. A lot of easy ones. Those are the ones that typically go in. And no post moves, and probably even some dagger threes from John Green, and Jay Will might have made one. Kevin probably made a 3, probably stepped out there and made one at some point. Good for all of them. Great job. Unfortunately, they didn't have a dynasty today because the power of my team dealing with adversity. I said it during the games today. Today's theme is dealing with adversity. Then I clarified that was just a theme for my team because the other team was not dealing with adversity. But again, it's tough to say all that in a mask. I'm trying to say that before the next game. And, Rick keeps getting screened. People are coming out of nowhere. screening this guy's ass, and the game's not even going on. I'm just going to keep beating that horse until it dies. We finally found some of that magic. I think we finally cracked 10 points in the third or the fourth game. Maybe 11 in the third game. We lost that one 15-11. But that fourth game, I think we were able to get a 2-0 lead, our first lead of the day, and work our way from there. We quickly lost that lead 3-2 because somebody came down and hit a 3. That was most likely uncontested. And able to hit some 2s, hit some 3s in that game, and luckily score 15 points before the dark team did. So the whites did come up with one win today. It was really a moral victory and one for the pride of the team, and was able to make up for some of those thrown balls across the court that Brandon let loose in front of his young son Jude today. And I believe his son asked him after the game, "Are you typically the rage guy on the court?" And maybe not always, but when circumstances persist, and they persist and they persist where you're on the losing end of pickup basketball games, it can be a little bit frustrating out there, and there's not a lot of things out there that you can take that frustration out on besides a little basketball. So things happen, and balls get thrown across the court, words get spoken, and we reconcile all of our differences, and everyone went home a winner today. I think we played up until about 7:30, which is always a win. There were no injuries, which is always a win. I had one of the most tiresome bicycle rides home of my entire life in -2-degree wind chill, and not a lot of energy left after playing my first games back post-COVID. My feet hurt, and I need a foot massage. The rest of my body, my quads, they're in rough shape. And I'm hoping to take more warm showers and try to recover for next week. In the meantime, have a great weekend, and we'll see you out on the court sometime soon.
Hey! What?